safe streets, vibrant neighborhoods, successful business and commerce. These are things that make a healthy community. We are a diverse community, rural, suburban, urban, a multitude of languages and ethnicities, ages and experiences. We are a collaborative community. Public-private partnerships make us a model community that others want to follow. It is what makes us unique. It is what makes us strong. The employees of Kent County reflect our diversity and seek to serve our communities.
People in this county, in this area, we wrap our arms around each other. We come together to collaborate, to solve problems. We're all working for the good of the whole. And I think that's wonderful. And you can see it. You can see it as you drive around Kent County.
Our impact starts the day a baby is born and a birth certificate is issued, to protecting children from deadly diseases through vaccination, to the public safety and justice provided by law enforcement and the courts, to offering veterans services and caring for the elderly. Every day we work to keep our communities robust.
I think if you are somebody who's interested in serving your community, in building a strong knowledge base and a good group of people to work with, then the county is one of your best employment opportunities out there. It's been completely rewarding in every way I could possibly explain for 26 years, and I feel like I grow every single day still today.
Leading these dedicated employees, our 19-member Board of Commissioners and our County Administrator Controller, along with our elected officials and appointed department directors, placing emphasis on civic involvement, quality housing, vibrant neighborhoods, and strong, solid infrastructure to allow businesses to thrive. Professional, dedicated, collaborative, and innovative.
Behind the scenes, collaboration between foundations, charitable organizations, nonprofits, for-profit businesses, public sector demonstrated through the county, the city of Grand Rapids, the townships, all the cities and the villages in our area. If we don't come together, then we will not have the strength that we have today, and I only hope to build upon that.
Our aim is to make our communities the best they can be. We are involved in exciting development projects, sustainable recycling programs, and creative progressive prevention programming. We partner with elected officials, impacting policy ideas that become great achievements. We seek opportunities to reach out into the community and offer our services to help our residents make Kent County thrive.
Our relationship is solid, both from a staff standpoint at the county level as well as the Board of Commissioners. And they understand what we do and the benefits that we can do for the community, and vice versa. We couldn't do what we do without the help of Kent County.
While most of us are busy running our lives, Kent County's elected officials, administrator controller, and over 1,600 employees are serving the communities where we live our lives, so we can all have a place we are proud to call home. Kent County, its life well run.
We have with us Brian Ricks this morning. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Chair Schroll and Commissioners. It's great to be here again this morning to talk a little bit about the progress that we've made over the past year, and it's been a busy year, and that's been good. Our vision continues to be West Michigan's commercial service airport of choice, and we're working very hard in a number of different areas to ensure that's the case. I want to thank our board of directors, chaired by Roger Morgan and vice chaired by Dick Vandermolen, and then also Ted Bonk as a director, a longtime director, and maybe the longest standing director on our board currently, along with Birgit Close, Steve Heacock, David Slickers, and Floyd Wilson. They do a fantastic job of promoting our airport throughout the county and throughout the region. So, also want to thank them and this board for all of the support through the transition to an airport authority. It's been a long process, about a 2-year process. I think when we've looked back at all the meetings and milestones, there's been over 60 meetings that have been held. I want to thank Daryl and his staff as well. I think the nice thing about this, it's truly been collaborative, and that's the way to get things done. And I'm confident that this will really position the airport at the right place for continued growth as we move into the future. From a financial standpoint, we remain financially strong. I think when you look at our total revenues, including passenger facility charges and customer facility charges, we generate about almost $42 million annually, and we balance that with about $34.2 million in expense, and that does include our debt service from the largest debt service out there is the parking structure. We've had some nice things happen with our tenants this year, or just recently. We broke ground with Landmark Aviation. Landmark is our fixed base operator. They provide all the services to the corporate and business aviation community, along with many services to our airline partners. They just broke ground at a new general aviation arrivals facility that will be completed in May or June time frame, and it will certainly add a first-class experience to those corporate travelers that are coming and transitioning through the Gerald Ford Airport. Also, some nice highlights with the West Michigan Aviation Academy. Their enrollment was up to about 550 this year. That will be closer to 600 next year. A couple of months ago, they announced a very nice partnership where Delta Airlines donated $150,000 for them to buy a second Cessna 172 training aircraft. So that program is continuing to get some national attention, especially in light of a pilot shortage that is coming down the pike here and is going to start to become more and more serious as time goes by. This fall, we also cut the ribbon, on a state-of-the-art natural stormwater and glycol treatment system. I think you recall that the planning for this started probably over 5 years ago. Former County Board Chair Sandy Frost-Steensma once indicated to me that was the single topic that she received the most phone calls on during her term here. It's good that we are breaking new ground. We are setting an example as the first of its kind in Michigan. It's a natural system, it's a green system, and it's going to do the job. And so we are very pleased with our commitment to the environment and the completion of that project. Late in 2014, we also unveiled a new logo and really started a new branding campaign with the tagline, "Getting There is Better Here." We continue to really promote that logo and that brand. It's a new, it's a modern brand. It's an energetic brand. We also updated our website at the airport to make it much more friendly. We updated our Wi-Fi, our complimentary Wi-Fi, which is very important to passengers. So we're continuing to work on anything that we can do to improve that customer service. We also work on the human element and personal touch aspects. We have a great partnership, as you know, with Experience Grand Rapids and the airport ambassadors, something that is unusual for our size of airport, to have ambassadors standing there when you get off the aircraft and welcome you to Grand Rapids. We continue to promote valet parking and cleaning services if you want to drop your car off and have it cleaned. We've partnered with the airlines in a new SkyCap service that has received tremendous reviews. The Therapy Dog program also is a nice program that we were one of the first airports to start a few years ago. We also, just 2 weeks ago, after our board meeting, cut the ribbon on a new roof for our parking structure. That adds another 1,100 close-in parking spots for our customers. Originally, that structure was designed for the roof, but because of the price that came in, it was delayed. But the timing is good now because that structure is continuing to be filled on that fourth level with the new roof. And we also continue our partnership with Kendall College and the Arts to bring in culture and artwork from students to be displayed at our facility. So we're very pleased with that. Earlier in January, we cut the ribbon on a Concourse B expansion where we added 2 gates. We completely redid the concessions and the retail offerings. It's branded with Grand Rapids Magazine as the Grand Rapids Magazine store. We highlight the food and beverage industry, obviously our craft beers, and we have tremendous offerings as individuals are waiting for aircraft at the gate. We wanted to introduce local flavor. We're going to continue to do that. We think that differentiates our airport. It shapes a positive travel experience and ultimately encourages people to come back and use our facility. When people step off the aircraft in Grand Rapids, we want them to get a sense of what Grand Rapids and West Michigan is all about, and we've accomplished that with the color and, again, the local flavor that is highlighted throughout that facility. That has led into a much larger project, and that is a project to consolidate our security checkpoints. With the growth that we are experiencing, we are challenged in that area. TSA is challenged in that area. We have, on many occasions, long lines, and we need to improve that. We need to fix that. Originally, that project was going to start a year later, but when Southwest came and we started seeing the traffic stimulation, we decided to push it up a year, and fortunately, now is the time to do it. That project will start very soon. It will start with remodeling to the Grand Hall, so you'll start to see construction walls go up. We are very sensitive to how that may interrupt the travel experience, and we are being very proactive about getting the word out and helping people and bringing more people on board to assist travelers as they're coming and going through that facility. But that project will also not only include an expansion of about 40,000 square feet to the Grand Hall area, it will also include a complete remodeling of Concourse A so that that experience throughout both concourses in the Grand Hall area will be consistent. So we're pleased to kick that off, and again, you'll start seeing construction activity very soon. We're also pleased to partner with the Ford Foundation and the Ford Museum on a presidential exhibit that will be part of that Grand Hall experience. It will be pre-security, so people that are waiting to pick passengers up can experience that. Our goal is to not only give them something unique that honors our president, honors the president who our airport is named after, but we'll also drive traffic to downtown and help promote the museum as individuals are coming in to the airport. We also, just a few weeks ago, or I guess in October, finished a reconstruction of one of our runways. It was a $4 million project. It's a 5,000-foot parallel runway on the north side of the field, and that runway is really designated for the most part, training activity and smaller aircraft. And as you can imagine, with the flight training activity with the West Michigan Aviation Academy, that was very important, and so a nice addition. We have a brand new runway on the north side. From an airline perspective, 5 airlines currently operate at the facility. 3 major network with Delta, United, and American, and 2 low-cost carriers, Allegiant and Southwest. That's a nice mix. Just probably 7 years ago, 7-8 years ago, there were no low-cost carriers in the market. And we were paying for that in the price of airfares. We've seen airfares drop, continue to drop over the years. We've had some nice new air service agreements with Allegiant, starting Punta Gorda, Fort Myers service a few weeks back, and bringing back Fort Lauderdale service, and we'll have a little event at the airport next week to announce that service. And then Southwest had a nice announcement as they announced 3 daily departures to Midway, and that service will start in April. That's important because it does bring 3 frequencies a day in to Southwest's largest domestic hub, a hub that has 265 daily departures out of it to 69 cities. So we think that will stimulate traffic even more and certainly help continue to ensure that we are competitive from a cost and a price standpoint. We are currently serving 15 of our 20 destinations nonstop. We have, of that list, there are 4 cities that are West Coast cities. Those are a little harder to get because of the distance and the stage length. When you have distances like that, airlines need to bring in larger aircraft, and you have to fill those larger aircraft. But we continue to work very aggressively on trying to add more nonstop destinations to our portfolio. From a passenger standpoint, our numbers are up, I think, 9.5% over last year. Last year was an all-time record year, so we're going to shatter last year's record this year. And looking forward, first quarter of next year, our seat capacity is up double digits, I think over 10%. So we feel we will continue to see growth as we lead into next year, especially with the Southwest announcement with 3 trips to Midway. We are outperforming from a seat capacity standpoint the rest of the state. Again, when you look into the first quarter of 16, we're up 10%. Traverse City is down 16%, Detroit is down 17%, Flint down 34%, Muskegon down 45%, Kalamazoo down 53%. So we are standing out when you compare us to some of the other airports in the state. From an airfare standpoint, when you look at our top 10 destinations, the most recent DOT statistics show that our airfare is only $20 more expensive than Detroit and only $14 more expensive than Chicago O'Hare. So we've made tremendous progress in that regard. And then finally, earlier this year, we unveiled a new economic analysis of the airport. We partnered with Grand Valley State University that demonstrated that the airport generates over $3.1 billion annually in economic output and supports over 40,000 area jobs. As part of that study, we also wanted to our board was very interested in looking at what the construction activity at the airport entailed over the last 25 years. And that report indicated that over the last 25 years, on average, each year we spent $24.5 million annually in construction dollars, and on average generated 271 construction jobs each year over the past 25 years. So some pretty healthy numbers, and we're very proud of those numbers and the economic impact that the airport drives in the entire region. So that's my update, and I'm happy to respond to any questions if there are any.
Well, thank you so much for that report, Brian. Lots of really great stuff happening at the airport.
Thank you.
Any questions for Brian this morning? Commissioner Antor.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning.
Good morning.
Congratulations on all your success. I was just kind of curious, in a El Nino winter pattern like this, you guys got to be just happier and heck about that too. How does that work as far as savings? I mean, so far we've had November, December pretty much without any snow. Is there a shelf life on like the ice and chemicals and stuff that you can use next year, or does this all roll into next year?
A good question. There is, and yes, we are very happy and love this weather. And the other thing, I think it drives more people to jump on Southwest and United and head out to Denver and go skiing if they can't find it here, but which I know isn't good for the state, but it's good for air service. There is a shelf. Well, there really isn't much. I mean, we can use that de-icing fluid over a 2 or 3 year period, so it's not like we purchase it and then we have to get rid of it. It does last. The sand, we use a lot of sand obviously as well, and we'll use sand as much as we can to improve the runway friction components, and obviously that'll last a long time. We keep it in a indoor heated facility. The idea there is that you put warm sand on the runway and it helps adhere better to the surface.
Commissioner Bonk.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to echo what Brian said. I'm around the whole campus of the airport, and everything from the parking attendants to the valet personnel to the director and his staff. It's a positive attitude at the airport, and it hasn't always been that way, especially with policing after 9/11. Sometimes it felt like you're going on a military installation, and it's really turned into a total positive experience and reflects the director and our leadership staff there. And I'm really appreciative of that, and can speak very positively what's happening out at the airport. And as you know, I walk around with a critical eye, and I tell people what I think from time to time, and but I'm very happy to be a part of that organization.
Thank you.
Commissioner Steck.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Brian.
Morning.
As the switch project begins to look more and more probable, some of the projections that I've heard is that may increase the flights in the airport as much as, is it 1,700 a week? Are we able to just absorb that with the existing operations, or does that implicate some changes?
Good question, and I think what we are trying to do is pin those numbers down a little bit more closely, because there's been 1,700 a week. I've heard 1,000 a day and so forth. But what that will we be able to absorb all of that? And I would say no, not without additional capacity. We will need additional capacity depending upon where those individuals are coming from, and it sounds like there's going to be a tremendous amount of increased travel to and from the East Coast, which is good, because there's East Coast destinations such as Boston that we are high, I think, on the list to try to get. There's other destinations also, but it'll really be driven by where the majority of those individuals are coming from and going to. And I tell you, something like that makes a huge, when we're out talking to a United or Delta or American about air service, when you can point to and bring with a company that has that type of travel volume, that means a lot. They know that if they bring that service in here, that it will be used, and it will be certainly used for business purposes, which the airlines like. So. That will have an impact, and we are working to try to obtain that data so that we can be out in front of that as much as possible.
What about the physical layouts? Just the facilities, the number of gates, the spaces that you're looking at. Given those numbers, are we capable of absorbing that without changes?
Possibly. I think our, what we do when we expanded Concourse B, we try to stay ahead of the curve a little bit. We don't want to overbuild, but we want to stay ahead of the curve. When we added the 2 gates for Southwest, it was interesting, or to Concourse B, it was interesting because Southwest started using those additional 2 gates pretty much right away after we opened that facility. We'll have to take a close look at that. We do have the ability to add 4 to 5 more gates onto Concourse A, so I think that will give us the capacity that we need. We just may have to move that project. I mean, if this becomes a reality, we may have to move that project up a little bit sooner on our capital improvement program.
Thank you.
Commissioner Bolter.
Thank you. Switching gears a little, Brian, I noticed we have, and it's a great percentage, but 95% we expect to be accounted to account for ID badges for TSA agents. Can you kind of explain, that's not something we police, is it? Does TSA police that themselves, or how does that work, and how can we get that to 100%?
Well, we actually do police that.
Okay.
We are responsible. We are the responsible entity for issuing badges, and as part of our security program, TSA comes back and does an audit of that each year, and we have to be, I think, at least 95 is the minimum. So we're working hard to try to improve that even more. I mean, obviously, you're seeing a lot of congressional conversation about the inside threat. And that's with badged employees. So TSA has instituted some additional programs to help with that. But that's something certainly we need to work on to try to get it up closer to 100%.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Other questions for Brian this morning? Okay, seeing none, thank you so much for your update and all your hard work. It's a pleasure to hear all the wonderful things that are happening at the airport.
Thank you. Look forward to coming back next year. Appreciate it.
Item number 4 on the agenda this morning, Aeronautics and Board of Commissioners approval of agreements required for FAA application for transfer of Part 139 operating certificate.
This is a request to recommend to the Board of Commissioners to approve a lease and asset transfer agreement, an assignment and assumption agreement, and an intergovernmental services agreement between the county and the Gerald R. Ford International Airport Authority, and to authorize the board chair to sign all documents necessary to effectuate the agreements in final form approved by corporate counsel. In September of 2014, the Board of Commissioners approved in concept a recommendation of an Airport Governance Steering Committee that the governance of the Gerald R. Ford International Airport be transferred to an authority. On August 27th of this year, the board adopted Articles of Incorporation for the Gerald R. Ford International Airport Authority, and the authority was officially established by the state of Michigan in September. On November 25th, the authority board authorized submitting 3 agreements to the county for approval. These agreements must be included as part of the authority's Federal Aviation Administration application to transfer the airport's operating certificate from the county to the authority, and would take effect upon the FAA's approval of the transfer. There's a lease and asset transfer agreement, an assignment and assumption agreement, and an intergovernmental services agreement. The agreements have been reviewed and approved as to form by corporate counsel, and this item was recommended for approval by the Finance and Physical Resources Committee at its last meeting.
Okay, is there a motion?
I'll move it.
Motion by Commissioner Vaughn, support by Commissioner Breve. Questions or comments on the motion? Okay, seeing none, we'll call this to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. Congratulations. Next up on the agenda is an action request from the Board of Commissioners regarding appointments to various boards, commissions, and committees.
This is a request to the board for appointments to various boards, commission, and committees for 2016. The Board of Commissioners on an annual basis appoints citizens and commissioners to boards, commissions, and committees in accordance with the applicable statutes or standing rules. Citizen interest in serving on the various boards, commissions, and committees was solicited via our website, Access Kent. 108 resumes were received from citizens for 43 citizen vacancies. 3 interview teams, Team 1 consisting of Commissioners Schroll, Steck, and Talon, Team 2 consisting of Commissioners Bonk, Bolter, and Chivas, and Team 3 consisting of Commissioners Antor, Breve, and Ponstein, reviewed all resumes and conducted interviews of citizen applicants for the various vacancies. The recommended nominees to fill vacancies are noted in the attachment to this action request.
Okay, is there a motion? Motion by Commissioner Steck is support by Commissioner Bolter. Questions or comments on the motion? I'll just repeat again, I really appreciate everyone's hard work in doing this. It's always a challenge when you receive that 1-foot thick binder of all those applications, all 108 of them. And I know each of you took a lot of time to go through those and meet with individuals, and you always want to make sure you're finding the right people for the jobs because these are important jobs. So just wanted to, again, express my appreciation. Commissioner Breve?
Yeah, I was really impressed with all the candidates that we interviewed and, ended up selecting. There was a great amount to choose from, and we've got a lot of great people here in Kent County that are willing to help out.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. Next up on the agenda is Commissioner Miscellaneous. Is there any miscellaneous this morning? Okay, seeing none, we will call this meeting adjourned to our next meeting on December 22nd, 8:30 a.m. Thank you.
I am Kent County. I am Kent County.
I am Kent County.
We are 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 Kent County.
Peya, Kent County. Ami, Kent County.
Somos Kent County.
Mas Ira, Kent County.
We are Kent County.
We are Kent County.
We are Kent County. Oh yeah.